This is the story of Red is Bad, a Polish clothing company that in just a few years went from being a Facebook page to a nationalist brand popular with the far right, with a store in one of the country's biggest tourist districts. How's that even possible? To understand that, you need to know what's going on in Poland and Eastern Europe as a whole. Right-wing populism is thriving here. Hungary, Poland and the Czech Republic have all elected nationalist governments in recent years. In Poland, the Law and Justice Party came to power on the back of a pro-nationalist, anti-immigration agenda. Since being elected, they've reshaped the country's judiciary, taken over the state broadcaster and even tried to enact a law that stopped Poland from being blamed for any crimes committed during the Holocaust. But back to Red is Bad. The company says it makes patriotic clothing for people who value freedom and are proud of Polish history. But critics point to the images used on the brand's clothing, saying it promotes nationalism. And it's a fine line between that and far-right messages like racism, Islamophobia and anti-Semitism. I'm Max Fraser, and I've been reporting on design from around the world for almost 20 years. I've come to Poland to see if this patriotic streetwear is fashion or just fascism on a t-shirt. It's 2012. The world is still recovering from the financial crisis. Poland is co-hosting the European Football Championships, and in Warsaw, two high school friends are about to discover the power of social media.
Tak naprawdę Red is Bad to nie miała być firma, ani żadna marka odzieżowa na samym początku, tylko na samym początku naszej działalności był to sam fanpage na Facebooku.
That's Paweł Szopper, one of the company's co-founders.
Z 200 fanów na Facebooku nagle pojawiło się 20 000 fanów. Ludzie zaczęli do nas pisać sami: panowie, robicie takie fajne te grafiki, wszystko wam tak fajnie wychodzi, zróbcie z tym jakieś koszulki.
Paweł took his life savings, 6,000 Polish zloty or about $1,800, and they printed out 200 t-shirts.
Wchodziłem na koszulki, które leżały pod łóżkiem, a moje biurko, przy którym pracowałem, przy którym siedziałem, to było też jakby cały dział wysyłki, całe biuro marketingowe, tak?
Today, Red is Bad produces around 60,000 garments a year. They have a full-service website and even a store in Krakow's Old Town, one of the country's most popular tourist destinations. And soon they will roll out an English-language website to take the brand global. The clothes are a mixture of large graphic prints, focused on Polish historical events, and more discreet anti-red messages.
To, co definiujemy jako coś czerwonego, jest to wszelka kwestia zniewolenia jednostki i totalitaryzmu.
Red is Bad says it's against all forms of what it considers totalitarianism, be it communism or fascism. But I wanted to talk to customers about what they like about the brand. Magda was here to buy a t-shirt for her boyfriend, Patrick.
Why do you think he's attracted to this brand in particular?
It expresses his emotions, his beliefs.
Do you share some of the beliefs of your boyfriend?
Not as strict as him.
Okay. And when you say he has strict beliefs, what do you mean by that?
He doesn't like black people, and he's strict.
I was shocked by Magda's statement, so we arranged a call with her boyfriend Patrick to confirm this is how he feels.
Hello? Znaczy w sensie tych, którzy imigrantów, i chodziło o imigrantów, że narzucają, że zamachy i oni chcą narzucić swoją kulturę, a powinni się zachować do jakiego państwa trzeba, tak się powinni zachować w tym państwie. Nie chodzi o tych bardziej, o czarnoskóry jako taką, którzy
And Patrick wasn't the only person to feel this way. Other customers like Gregor had similar views.
Szczególnie co mi się nie podoba, islamizacja kontynentu i też zamachy terrorystyczne. Uchodźcy, którzy są uchodźcami, nie zawsze są uchodźcami.
We've spoken to some of your customers who expressed fear of the Islamization of Europe, the breaking down of conservative values, and how does it make you feel that that kind of thinking might be linked in some way to your brand?
Pierwsze to jakby sam początek, to jest to, co już wcześniej mówiłem, czyli ja do końca nie mam wpływu na to, kto nosi moje ubranie. Tak mogę na to odpowiedzieć po prostu, tak? Ja taki nie jestem, my tacy nie jesteśmy.
What would your message be to anybody who may take offence from some of the imagery or slogans that are presented on your clothing?
To wyrażenie nas samych, no i tyle, koniec, kropka, więc to jest nasze przesłanie. Nie udajemy nikogo, tacy jesteśmy normalni, zawsze można do nas przyjść, porozmawiać o wszystkim, słuchamy argumentów, dyskutujemy, ale to, co jest na tych koszulkach, to jest wyrażenie nas samych.
Poland might not be the first place you think of when it comes to fashion, but the scene has been thriving in recent years. The country has developed successful brands that have stores on Oxford Street in London and presented collections at Paris Fashion Week. And alongside that came the emergence of Polish patriotic streetwear.
For me, it's not fashion, it's some kind of nationalistic manifestation.
Marcin Rosik is a journalist who has spent his career tracking Poland's fashion trends.
Why do you think that we're seeing this rise in this kind of popularism? Why do you think more and more people are wanting to wear this stuff openly on the street?
People are scared by politicians that our roots, our Polish heritage is like something which is not very safe today. But it's not true, it's a lie, it's a propaganda.
Of course, this isn't the first time such propaganda has been used. During the Great Depression, European right-wing governments blamed Jews for their country's woes. Today, they blame refugees. And in the 1930s, fashion and fascism also became entwined. Mussolini's fascist militia was known as the Black Shirts for their iconic look. Hugo Boss designed and manufactured the uniforms for the Waffen-SS, the armed wing of the Nazi Party. Post-World War II, fascist groups went with a new look: shaved heads, bomber jackets and combat boots. Today, the preference is for button-downs and khakis, like we saw in Charlottesville in 2017.
Not normal for me to wear pink shirt and something like this, but we think that the man should be elegant.
This is Konrad Smunowiski, a spokesperson for All Polish Youth, one of Poland's largest right-wing organisations that specifically targets the country's 16 to 30-year-olds.
They are very liberal, unfortunately for us, but we're trying to teach them that very bad way for society.
What is it about liberal values that you're fighting against?
We think that abortion is very bad, but liberals say it's a human right. We're against LGBT plus because we think that the marriage is only for man and woman.
There's certain brands like Red is Bad, for example, that are carrying quite a strong nationalist message. Where do you stand with some of the messaging?
I think that it's good to show the message on shirts. But not in every occasion, sometimes of course, on the manifestation.
And these messages were on full display at Poland's recent Independence Day march, where an estimated 200,000 people took to Warsaw's streets.
Certain behaviors that weren't that accepted before, like expressing, I don't know, racist feelings, for instance, has been given permission.
Agata Pizik is a journalist and author who has studied how Poland's culture has changed since the end of the Cold War.
You think that the people wearing these kind of clothes actually fully understand the messages that they're sending from the front of their t-shirts?
I think they don't. There was a successful selling of this as just merely patriotism or like being proud of Poland.
But Red is Bad is unapologetic for its focus on pride, patriotism and Poland's history. And it's a focus that helped it gain fans at the country's highest levels of government. Is Red is Bad racist or xenophobic by design? No. But it clearly resonates with groups and individuals who are. You can't stop the far right from appropriating your look, but you can avoid catering to it. I came here to figure out if this is fashion or fascism in disguise. And what I found is that the meaning of a brand rests as much with the people who wear it as it does with the people who make it. Red is Bad is only one such clothing company that sits in this space. Indeed, there are several others in Poland alone. The marketplace for nationalism and right-wing populism seems only to be growing.